You can. Okay, so my normal good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Click Right math class, the most interactive math class online. Oh, yes. And it's a class where every student get to learn by God's grace. All right, so let's go on to question 3. So now that we are recording, you could go back. So this one was a quite interesting one, but I noticed that most people did it pretty well. So commendations to the class. Most people sent their homework as well, which was very good. Although I got most of it last night when it was a little hard for me to look at homework last night. All right. Now, the first thing that people did was multiply throughout by R, and they made a mistake. If you're multiplying, if you're multiplying this first one by R, P minus MG, you have to put it in brackets and multiply by R, right? So I'm just putting the R because that is what it means. The bracket means multiply. I don't have to put the multiply here because the multiply is understood. But I'll leave it just because it's a teaching and learning experience. So I'll leave it for now. And then there's mv squared divided by r. And of course, we are multiplying by r. Right? I multiply the entire thing on this side by r, and I'm multiplying here by r. So what I get mv squared r by p is rp, and r by mg is rmg. So because I'm finding for m, this one is negative, I'll carry it on the right-hand side. All right, so rp is equal to mv squared plus rmg's. So I'm finding for m, right? I'm finding for m, but so I have all the m's together, people. For those persons who were not here for a while, like Marcus, I'm seeing Marcus today, it must go together. All the m. So there's a m here. You put them on one side of your equation. Now we will factorize. What's common here, Marcus, between this and this? What's common, Marcus? Marcus, what is common? So I have this. Oops. Where did this come from? Let me just put my, all right, so this, Marcus, can you hear me? Marcus, where's Marcus? He left? I'm seeing Marcus there. Deshaun, what's common between the RMG? Let me see if I have another symbol boy of a square. So you have one group, Deshaun, and you have another group. What is common with these two groups? Deshaun.
M.
M, correct. M is common. Thank you. So M is the common factor. That's why we put the M outside. So it's M multiplied by M into MV squared and M into RMG. All right. So what do I mean by that? For just in case people didn't understand what I just said, I said M into MV squared. That will give me v squared. So those person who by chance don't know where I got that v squared, I divided Antonio. And M into RMG is RG. Just in case you don't understand where I got the RG from. All right? Just as making that assumption, but everybody should have known. Now, M times V squared plus RG, I'm finding for M, so I have to divide throughout by V squared plus RG. So that is what I'm going to divide by on both sides. So divide the side V squared plus RG, and of course it's going to cancel out, and I'm going to divide this by V squared plus RG. So M, I'm just right. I don't like this. I would like people to write vertically. I had a problem with Jeremiah. He's not here yet. I'm not sure when he's coming, if he's coming, but his work, I had a problem with that. So M is equal to that. All right, let's move on quickly. Number 4. I want us to finish this before. All right, so most people got this one right, so that was good. Y equals to 3 over 4t plus 5. And we were finding for t. Cross multiplies, right? You could cross multiply. Some people, I saw Udia using it, which was good. You could either cross multiply or just multiply throughout by 4t plus 5, right? So it's 3 over 4t plus 5. But be careful with the y. So I saw people making mistakes with that. All right. If you're going to multiply that, you have to put it in brackets. So it's 4t plus 5. So it's y multiplied by this, y multiplied by this. So keep that in mind. All right. So I saw people making that mistake. This will cancel out. Y by 40 is 4ty. Y by 5 is 5y. Put in number first, equals 3. Now, the 5y will move. And then we're going to divide throughout by 4y. Why? Because we're finding for t. All right, I kind of jump in the gun. So what t is equal to 3 minus 5y over 40. 4y. All right. Any questions? Want me to go over anything? I'll be happy to go it over.
So go to one more time.
Sorry, I did not hear that.
So can you go it over one more time, please?
All right, Antonio. So what was the first thing I did, Antonio? What was the first thing I did? I multiplied throughout by?
My y, sir.
Huh?
My y.
I multiplied throughout by the denominator. What's the denominator?
40 plus 5.
Right, so that is what I'm multiplying throughout by, that red part. So if I multiply by that, this one side will cancel. All right? But when you are multiplying this side, you are multiplying this by y. So it's y by 40, 40y. Y by 5, it's positive 5y. So this is what we will get. But this is we finding for t. We are finding for t. And if we're finding for t, you have to get rid of this first. We just say carrying it on the other side, so the sign changes. It now becomes negative. And then we divide by, remember now you have 4ty, but you want to get to know what t is. And to find for t, we must divide by 4y. Whatever you do on one side, you do on the next side. So canceling out the 4y, you're left with your t. And t is equal to 3 minus 5y over 4y.
That's it.
Number 5. Most people got out number 5. It was straightforward and easy. 5 and 6. Most people got that out easily. I is equal to V minus E all on R. You're finding for E. So we multiply throughout by R. So it's I by R and V minus EO. Oops. Over R. I'm multiplying by R here as well. So I'm going to multiply here by R and multiply here by R. So what am I left with? R I equal V minus E. Or this will cancel. Now, remember we're finding for E. So take the E onto the E is negative. Ri plus E equals V. All right. So E is equal to V minus Ri. Now, this is very important in terms of using the signs. All right, this is very important in terms of using your signs. So the E, I brought it on the other side, it's positive, and you carry, so that's the answer. All right, most people got out number 5, number 6. Energy is equal to mass by the speed of light squared, right? Einstein used this for the theory of relativity, right? So we want to find C, not C squared. We want to find C. How are we finding C? Going to divide by M throughout. All right. So now we have C squared is equal to E over M. Now, to remove the square sign, we have to square root. And this is interesting. If you want a square root, you have to square everything. And if you want to remove the square, you have to square root. So C is equal to the square root of everything. I saw some people only square rooting the E. You can't do that. It's everything squared. It's everything squared. All right. So C is equal to everything squared. All right. So question 7 was a question very similar to 6. right? I think the students who did question 7 got it right. All right, K is equal to 3 plus 5m squared divided by R. Finding for M. All right, again, because it's a fraction, we are multiplying throughout by what, people? I haven't been asking anybody yet, but someone open their mic. We are multiplying throughout by
R.
R. Thank you. We are multiplying throughout by R. So this will be RK equals to 3 plus 5m squared. So this is 3 plus 5 times m squared. So you must get rid of the 3 first. So that would be RK minus 3. And then we divide by 5. So m squared is equal to RK minus 3 over 5. But we want m. We want m, not m squared. So you have to square root RK minus 3 over 5 is everything squared, not the RK minus 3. Everything square root. I said squared, sorry.
So you said everything square root?
Square root. To remove the square, you have to square root everything, not just the RK minus 3. Or all the terms and numbers. I have here every term. Everything square rooted. And that would make this m. All right. So the last question. Number 8. Now, there are different ways to work this. I'm going to put the 2 answers. All right. Because people would have done it differently. It doesn't matter. All right. Again, I want to multiply throughout by p plus 2, the denominator. Once you have a fraction, we're finding for p. Once you have a fraction, you have to multiply throughout by the denominator, which is p plus 2, p plus 2. So you have to do that on both sides. Okay, Antonio? Your hand says here? So your hand
Yes,
says
sir.
here?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you're following? We have to multiply throughout by the denominator. So k by p, kp, k by 2. We usually put the number first, 2k. This will cancel, right? So I'm left with p plus 1. I'm finding for p, but I'm seeing one on the left-hand side and one on the right-hand side. So I'm going to bring that p across, and I'm going to take the 2k across with the 1. So it will be kp minus p equals to 1 minus 2k. All right, kp minus p equal to 1 minus 2k. Now remember, we have kp minus p. So open your mics, tell me what's the common factor for this? What's the common factor for this?
Peter?
P.
P. Because the common factor is common. what is the same here and here? What's common? And your answer is P. So P into PK, okay, P into negative, P is -1. Anybody lost? So I'm dividing throughout by K minus 1. And I have to do it on this side. Because this is P multiplied by K minus 1. Whatever I do on one side, I do on the next. So it leaves me with P. That's what I want to find. So your answer should be either 1 minus 2K over K minus 1, or, for those persons who I did not see, it's 2K minus 1 over 1 minus K. Any of these answers is correct. All right, so here ends transposing. Now, I had started going through a test paper, and the next question was trigonometry. But I'm not going to deal with trigonometry. It so happened. All right, I'm not going to deal with trigonometry. I was going through a past paper. I'll come back to the trigs. All right, I'll come back to the trigs. What we want to move on to is angles. So this evening starts angles. It should take me about 3 classes or 4 classes to cover angles. And then we will go on to area sector, length of area of circle, length of circle, length of sector, area of sector. I'm going to complete that. And then we're going to do the trigs. Although we should do the trigs first, but I prefer to start with this one. And then after the trigs, I want to look at polygons. Now, I hardly see polygons in June, but for those students who are doing January, I'm seeing a lot of polygons. All right? I hardly see, it's not that it doesn't come in June, but it comes more in January. All right, so people, got your very important. Please pay attention to what's going to happen now. If you get knocked off, like someone just got knocked off, please sign back in as fast as possible. All right, angles, new heading, angles. Now, this is a very easy topic, but there are some complications. All right, there are some complications. Again, if you don't do the homework, you're going to get in trouble. All right, everyone is responsible. That this is a requirement to stay in my math class doing homework. Okay, so for this part, as I give you all certain things to do, I would see if you will have to recall some of your information that you would have done in primary school. All right. I do not give a lot of notes. All right, so you will have to make your notes where necessary. But in this topic, there are some notes that that you need to know about. All right, so just give me a second. All right. Now, we're going to start with a straight line, or the angles form on a straight line. So the heading will be straight line. slash supplementary angles. All right, so this is number one. We have 7 subtopics that I'm hoping to cover today. All right, so in a straight line, people, the angles of a straight line adds up to 180 degrees. So let's say that you have an angle. You have 2 angles forming here on a straight line. So this is a small angle until we get to 90 degrees. All right, and then it gets bigger. All right, so let's just talk about this angle. We call it acute. Acute. So let's say this angle is 36 degrees. Because a straight, right, so if we starting from here to here, 36 degrees. So here, anybody put in the chat for me what this angle called theta is equal to. Put in the chat for me what that angle would be equal to. Go ahead, everybody. How much is that angle? You have 5 seconds. 1. Put in the chat what that angle is equal to. This is easy stuff. It's not hard. So Deshaun, correct. Jalea, correct. Theodora, correct. Udiah, correct. Come on, people. This is not tough. In a straight angle, Ezekiel, correct. All the angles must add up to 100. Johan say you made a mistake, a small mistake. Matthias, correct. Jada, correct. Tyrese, correct. Mikel, you made a mistake. Now remember, Antonio, you made a mistake. Now, in a straight line, the angles must equal to 180 degrees. That's what I had said. 180. Everything must add up to 180 degrees. So if this is 36, now listen carefully what I'm about to say. When CXC asks you for an angle, you need to tell them what type of angle it is. All right. Yes, Mikkel, that's correct. Your hands here, that's correct. So your working will be 180 minus 36 equals 144. And then you're going to put in brackets supplementary. Because supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. So you're going to write that. I'm going to write that. Supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. All right, this is how I want you to state it down. I'm going to put 180 minus 36 equals to 144 supplementary. And we have supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. Good? Any questions? Can I move on? I'm giving you 5 seconds. 1. Right, so those persons who I did not see, I would I'll see a work after. Jacob, I didn't see anything from you, so I'll say a work after. So let's move on. So the first one is the supplementary angle found on a straight line. Number two, vertically opposite. Vertically opposite angles. Sienna, correct. And Jasiah. Oh, okay. Sorry to hear that, Jasiah. All right. So vertically opposite angles. Now, to get vertically opposite angles, you need two lines. All right. You need 2 lines. All right. So you have a line here. All right. So once you have one line, that is important. Once you have one line, that's important. All right. Because you could start thinking supplementary like that. But then it goes beyond. So now what we actually forming is 2 angles. All right. 4 angles. We have an angle here. And we have one vertically opposite in a straight line. So we have another one there. All right. So what I mean by that is it's pointing this way. All right. So we have the angle here and it's pointing here. So it's vertically straight across. When I say vertically, I mean straight across. All right. So for those who have been wondering, I mean straight across. All right. The next angle would be here. All right. So if I know this angle, I will know this angle because they are all on a straight line, people. They're all on this straight line here. All right. Keep that in mind. All right. Keep that in mind. But this angle is vertically opposite to this angle. So that's important to note. All right. So we have this angle here and we have this angle here. So let's give them names. Let's give them names. So this is angle A, angle A, B, angle C, angle D. Now, angle C and D are vertically opposite. So when I say vertical, think about a straight line, vertical. All right, so C is straight across from angle D. So that's what I mean by vertical. A is vertically opposite to B on the other side. Now, vertically opposite angles are equal. Right? So we have a kind of supplement. Excuse me. All right, so vertically opposite angles, that's the rule. Vertically opposite angles are equal. So you're writing that. All right, so angle C is the same as angle D, and angle A is the same as angle B. So let's try it one. Let's say angle, let's say this is 125 degrees, right? How much is A and how much is B? And you have to give your reason. So A, you're going to say what A is and give your reason. You're going to say what B is and give your reason. Everybody is okay with that? Put your answers in the chat. You can begin now. Start with A. Give me A and give me a reason. So I'm just looking at A and I'm giving you, you're giving me a reason. Put your answers in the chat. Put your answers in the chat. Put your answers in the chat. All right. All right. And Sienna, what would be your reason? Put your answer and your reason. So I know people, Matthias, no, what, all right. Let me give you all this one. Matthias correct, but the reason would be supplementary. That's all. All right, Kiara. So let me do this one. So it's 180 minus 125 equals 55. Now it's on a straight line, so all you need to put is supplementary in brackets. All right? So I gave you all that one. So give me B now. Give me B and reason. Give me B and reason. Everybody, put your answers in the chat. Put your answers in the chat. Right. Matthias, correct. Jada. What is your reason for B? Jada. Correct, but give me a reason. Deshaun. No, Deshaun. For B, no. Try again, Deshaun. I gave you all 2 rules so far. Jalea. B is good. Good. Jalea, correct. Theodora, correct. Jasia, reason. Right, for A. That was A. What about B now, Jasia? Shalomi, correct. Yes, good, correct. Yeah, right. Jada, thank you. Correct reason. Kiara, correct reason. Where are the others? I have to call names. I'm seeing 26 people here. I'm not gonna call names. Yes, I will. Darius, seeing Daniel here this evening.
Hello, can I answer?
No, man, this is mental. You just have to watch and give me an answer. Deandra, Ezekiel, Joshua, Jaden, Kaylon. This is mental, so you just have to look at it and give me an answer. Why you dividing? No, Sienna. This is vertically opposite. Okay, people, don't send any more. People, y'all watch. Vertically opposite. It's directly opposite on the other side. All right, vertically opposite, man. Directly on the other side. So it is, you just have to put, in this case, you just put in 125. All right, that's what B is. B, 125 degrees, vertically opposite. Vertically opposite. That's all. So we learned two things so far. Let's recap because we have about 7 to learn. The first one was the straight line, or supplementary angles. That's what we looked at. The straight line, and we said the straight line, the supplementary angles, they are 180 degrees, right? The two angles will add up to 180. So you're always subtracting from 180 to find the other one. But then we added to the line, people. And we said, first of all, supplementary angles adds up to 180. But now we looked at vertically opposite. You must be able to see vertically opposite. All right? You must be able to see vertically opposite. All right. So in vertically opposite, the lines are they cross each other like at a junction, right? At a junction where two roads meet. The angles that form opposite each other are equal. So we call them vertically opposite. All right, people. You could go back to this. It's being recorded. Number three. I hope you all are taking this down. Number 3, corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. Now, in corresponding angles, we need two lines again. All right, but we want the lines parallel to each other. And what we're now going to write, now the lines are parallel to each other. So I'm saying this one time so that when we get to vectors, you notice these arrows represent that the lines are parallel. The two lines are parallel, meaning that they would run along each other but never meet or touch each other. So they are called parallel lines. Good. I'm going to use another line. I'm going to use another line, and this other that cuts both of them. And this line is called a transversal line. Right? You don't need to remember the word, but transversal line. So correspond. Let me talk about correspond. Now, when we talk about corresponding, I mean whatever you do, somebody else do. And they do the same thing. All right? Hello. Hi, and you do the same thing. Correspond. As the word suggests, they correspond to each other. All right. So we're going to look at angles and how they correspond to each other. So notice this angle here at the top, at the right hand side. at the right-hand side at the top. It's on the right. So we're going to call this angle X degrees. So here my question. I'm going to ask somebody, open your mic. What will correspond to angle X? Would it be angle A, angle B, angle C, or angle D? Which one would correspond? All right, pull the answer in the chat. Which one will correspond to angle X? All right. If I lift my right shoulder, next person lift their right shoulder. Put your answers in the chat. Put it. Which one correspond? This real easy. This real easy, people. All right. This is mental. Which one corresponds to angle X? Let me see what people write in. Shalomi, you are not right. Nah, Shalomi, I made a mistake. Try again. Is it A, B, C, or D? Sienna, correct. Kiara, correct. Jasia, you are correct. Jada, Salome, Shalomi, do it again. Jada, correct. Theodora, which one corresponds? All right, Theodora, correct. Jalia, no. Try again. Matthias, yes, no, correspond, nah. Nah. Try again, Matthias. Corresponds. Shalomi, it's at the top. So you're looking for some, no, Shalomi, try it again. One more try. Yedaya, yes. Jadon, no. Johansir, yes. Jacob, yes. Carrison, yes. Darius, no. Try again, Darius. Jedidiah, yes. All right. Don't send any more. Don't send any more. Shalomi, no. Correspond mean doing the same thing. So let me give all of the answer. You all have to look in your mind. The answer, this thing is at the top here, right? So when you get down here, you have to look for something at the top, right? Not below. Below. This is top right. You have to look for top right. So what corresponds to the top right? It will be B. Long ago, when I taught my Form 1s this, I told them look for an imaginary F. So this corresponds with this. Look for an imaginary F. All right, so that's just by the way. So we're looking at the top right. So people, therefore, what corresponds, so let me leave this top right. What will correspond to the angle here, here, if this angle is y, so we know that X corresponds to B. What does Y correspond to? Is it A, D, or C? Put it in the answer. Put it, bring it for me. Give me an answer. What does Y correspond to? Jacob, yes. Kerson, yes. Shalomi, yes. You're getting it now. Johan Seer, yes. Darius, no boy, sorry, Darius, you make a mistake, it corresponds. Jadon, yes. Udiah, yes. Matthias, yes. Jalea, yes. So there are some people who I'm seeing. Oh, Theodora, yes. Jedidiah, yes. Jada, yes. Jasia, yes. Kiara, yes. Sienna, yes. Antonio, yes. Tyrese, yes. Joshua, yes, I've seen it now, Joshua, yes. Jeremiah, no. Jeremiah, that was for the first one. I want what Y corresponds to now. Keshawn Lewis, yes. Yes, Keshawn. Ezekiel. Where's Mikel? Wait. Is only one
here.
is which one is the answer, Ezekiel? Huh? You have two answers. Which one is correct? All right, people. So we're looking at corresponding angles. Don't send any more. We are looking at corresponding angles. Now, where is Y? Y is top left. Y is top left. Top. Here's bottom. And this is left. So we need to look top left. So Y, A corresponds to Y. Now, listen to this. Listen to this rule now, people. Corresponding angles. Here, write this down. Corresponding angles are equal. Corresponding angles are equal. Write that down, people. Very important. Write it down. So listen to this. Listen to this. And you have to, if this angle it's an acute angle, it's less than 90. Let's put this at 64 degrees. Then the corresponding angle would be this, and it's 64 degrees. Hello? Now, would I be able to know here, X? Anybody? Somebody? Would I be able to know what X is? Somebody tell me. What would X be? Open your mic and just tell me what X is.
116 degrees.
116
106,
degrees.
116. Because it's a straight line. 180 minus 64. But CXC wants a reason. So that would be 116. And if you put supplementary, you're done inside supplementary. And that's this 116 is what we call a K1 mark. Supplementary is a C1 mark. The C1 mark has more weight than the K1 mark. This is just knowledge only. But the C1 is comprehension, showing that you understand and you could recall. All right, so corresponding angles are equal. So if this Let me scratch this off. If I put my 116 here, then I could put 116 here as well, because they are corresponding. So if they ask me what this is, I will put 116 and in bracket corresponding. Corresponding angles. All right. Anybody lost? Now I'm teaching you to have, this is spatial knowledge. Because when we do circuit theory, which comes in section 2, you have to be able to recognize things. And this is a spatial area. There are some people who are not very spatial, and it takes a little while for you to understand it. That's all right, all right. Rome wasn't built in a day. Some people catch it faster than others, so there are other things that you will catch faster than other persons. Okay, so let's recap. Let's recap. Let's go back. Jeremiah, if you're there, I didn't see any work from you. So we started off with supplementary, which is a straight line. Supplementary angles, they add up to 180 degrees. All right? Two angles adding up, and it's on a straight line. Then we looked at vertically opposite angles, which are on the other side, meeting at a junction, and they form in four angles. And in those four angles, those that are opposite to each other are equal. So vertically opposite angles are equal. Then we looked at corresponding angles. And they form a letter F, an imaginary F. That's what I call it, an imaginary F. All right? So they are supplementary angles. Don't forget that, people. Supplementary angles. Now, we're going on to the, how many I told you, boy? I think it's only about, let me see, 1/4. We don't have, I think it's only 2 more. So we're right on track. If I only have 2 more, that would be nice. All right, I don't really use a book much. So, all right, so let's go. Let's do the next one. Let's do the next one. And this one is called interior angles. Take this down. If you get knocked off, please remember. Okay, just here. All right, understood. So before I start supplementary angles, what I try to do, just give me a little second. Jada, show you. Hold on one sec. All right. Okay. So interior angles. Interior angles. So what are interior angles? Now, for it to find interior angles, again, we must have two parallel lines. And of course, the sign for parallel lines would be sometimes they will use 2, representing that the lines are parallel. Let's see. This is my transversal line. Interior angles are angles that are formed on the inside of 2 parallel lines. So let's look for those 2 angles. So here we have an angle on the inside, and we have another angle on the inside. So let's call this one X, and let's call this one Y. So these 2 angles, X and Y, are called interior angles. Now, long ago, when I was teaching Form 1s, I would tell them this. Look at it as a C. All right? It could be a C like that. It could be a back to front C, right? Because, why is it back to front? Because the angles can form on this side as well. Let's call this A and B. All right? So, interior angles. Now, interior angles add up to 180 degrees. So keep that in mind. Interior angles add up to 180 degrees. So let's write that. Interior angles. Take this down. So interior angles adds up to 180 degrees. Therefore, let's say X is equal to, no, let's say Y is equal to 112 degrees. Y is 112 degrees. What is X? What is X? Everybody, send your answers to me. What is X? Send it on the chat. You have 2 seconds. All right, so time is... All right, so let's see. Let's see what people send your answers in. Send your answers in. Joshua, correct. Antonio, correct. Kiara, correct. Sienna, correct. Tyrese, correct. All right, so people understanding this, which is good. Darius, correct. Johansi, correct. Matthias, correct. Jalea, correct. Theodora, correct. Shalomi, correct. All right. Jada. Yeah, the 2 angles have to add up to 180. Jada, you made a mistake. Jeremiah, correct. Kishon, Lois, correct. Carrison, the 2 angles must add up to 180. Carrison, try again. You made a mistake. Deshaun, correct. I'm giving people 5 seconds more, and then I will do the question. I'm actually trying to take a roll at the same time so I don't keep you all back from leaving. Right. By the way, people, you're sending your work to teacher. You're not sending it to, right? So I'm seeing people, you're sending it to teachers. So sometime, Mikhail, I think you was sending it to the other one. I'm just seeing your work. I'm just watching at my phone. You're sending it to capital TEACHER. All right. All right. So, all right, people. I have one more to do. So let's recap and do the other one. Carson, correct. Jacob, correct. Mikhail, no, Mikhail, you made a mistake. 180 minus 112 is how much, Mikhail? Try that again, Udaya. You are correct. And there's Jada. You are correct. So 180 minus 112 should give you 68. So that was the answer I was looking for all the time. Give me 10 seconds to try to, and then we do the last one. Marcus, you keep getting knocked off. So
Yes, yes, sir. I keep getting knocked off, sir.
yeah, so you have to work on that. You could log on with 2 devices so that it doesn't happen so frequently. Or free up some space. I think that is usually the problem. All right. All right, so let's go. Last one. Last rule. And before I do the last rule, let's recap. The reason I'm recapping before I recap. So the answer to this one would have been 180 minus 112, which was 68 degrees. All right. So this is interior angles and it looks like a C. All right. Corresponding angles looks like an F. They are equal. They correspond to each other vertically opposite. 2 roads meeting, forming 4 angles. Supplementary angle on a straight line. Straight line, vertically opposite, corresponding interior angles, and one more. Now, this last one is an interesting one, and we will do about 3 or 4 questions, and that's it for today. So we would have covered a lot, surprisingly. Now is to do the questions and get them all correct. All right, so let's go. Last one. I really saturated you, but that's all right. Alternate angles. Alternate angles. So for the alternate angles, and of course, again, for alternate angles, we need a pair of parallel lines. And of course, we need our line that cuts the pair of parallel lines. All right. Now, the best way to explain this one is in the shape of a Z. All right, so let's say, look for the Z. That's all I'm telling you. Let's say this angle here is 50 degrees. The next, look for the Z. So let me draw a Z to show you where that angle is going to be. Let's see if I could do it in yellow. Watch carefully. All right, so here's my Z. And forming my next 50 would be here. So these angles are equal. Alternate angles are equal. And I'll tell you this. You need to know alternate angles so when we do angle of elevation, depression. All right, so all these things consolidate each other. All right, so they're not in a vacuum. All right, welcome back, Jasia. Just have a few minutes left. So this is, so alternate angles are equal. So you're writing that. Alternate angles are equal. Now, for some reason, CX students take this topic for granted and they lose mark. Now remember, you can't lose any mark at CXC. You don't want to lose marks. You want to get marks. All right, so just be careful. We don't want to lose any marks. So let me draw another pair because I want to show you how this thing could. Let's say the angle was here. Let's call this 140 degrees. Where would be the alternate angle? Here, 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 or here. Now, this one kind of hard, so I'll actually tell you. So I'm going to show you the Z. I will show you the Z. And this Z, now the first Z was easy to get. But this Z kind of hard. So this Z was here, right? All right. Here's my Z. But look at the next Z. It's a kind of back to front Z. And I'm taping this class. All right. Now, good. So this is my back to front Z. All right. So I'm glad I'm taping so that people can go back and see. So this is my 140. And this is my alternate angles. It's kind of strange with that Z, but it's there. Yes, Joshua, that's correct. All right, but I was afraid that people may not see the alternate angles. All right, but look at how the Z's are spread out. All right, so people, alternate angles are equal. And what I want to do now, for the next 5 minutes, I just need an extra 5 minutes to go through a few of the homework. All right. I just want to go through some of the homework so that people have an idea of what's happening. So let's look at some of the questions. So hold on. Let me just find my slide. All right, because of the size of this slide, my system is running a little slow. So hold on. All right. I just want to find my slides that I prepared for you. I did not open it because I felt that we would not have gotten so far today. All right, so I took these from, oh, wrong slide. Hold on. This would be on the, oh, here it is. Good. All right, so I took this from the Mathematics are Complete course. All right, so I'm just going to switch to the PowerPoint. Hold on. All right, so it should come up in 3 seconds. All right. So when I send this to the chat, you would see it a little better. All right. Okay, we want to look at A and B in question 6, 7, 8. Want to look at A. Everybody could see A. I don't know. So everybody could see A. It's a question with just some. All right, in question. All right, this one is easy. Let's do A, B, C, and D. It's a straight line for A, and then they have a line here. They have 35, and then they have X. Just open your mic and tell me what X is, everybody. This is just mental. X is equal. How much?
45 degrees.
How much?
145 degrees.
145. Everybody agree with that? How did he get that? He said 180 minus 35. Everybody agree with that?
That's true.
He's correct.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Look at same number 10. No, this is number what? Hold on. I'm not seeing it properly. Number 6. Hold on. All right. Good. Number 6, that's A. What is and I can't expand this. I wish I could have get it bigger. What is look at B. In B, you have two lines intersecting. They gave you one is 150. No, 105. Anybody could tell me what B is?
So B is 105.
105, and the reason?
It's vertically opposite.
Vertically opposite angles, correct. Vertically opposite angles. So this is 105. How much is C?
75 degrees, sir.
Everybody agree with Kiara? Because
Yeah.
this is a straight line, so it's 180 minus 105, which is 75 degrees. Anybody lost? So what I'm going to do, you are going to do for me A and C for numbers 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I would share, let's see, 14 and 15 as well. Let's just change the page. 14, 15. Yeah. So we'll go up to 14. Next class, we'll do the rest. All right, next class. I would send all the work to you, but we are only going up to 14 for next class. So we are starting with questions 6 to 14, but we only doing A and C. Number 10 doesn't have A and C. All right, so you have to do A and B in number 10. All right, number 12 doesn't have a A and C, so you're just doing number 12. Number 13 has a A and C. All right, so everybody understands that? What are we doing for homework?